So hello there, I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. So creating this Godzilla is not an easy task. So if you're creating anything from this molded clay for the first time, I would advise you to create the turtle or the snake first, and once you get those good, then you start creating this Godzilla. So it took me around 3 to 4 weeks to create this one, to paint and to make each and every part, to sculpt each and every scale of his body. So I am combining all this into a three-part video. So there are many things that I'll skip, so you understand. The first things first, that is that you have to take the molded wrapper, because I never throw the wrapper. I use them to create the skeleton, or you can also use a newspaper as well, but don't throw these wrappers. You can use always, using plastic is always better. So I'll be using this to create his body, that is the skeleton body. Like this, you have to wrap this up with a masking tape. If you have seen his tutorial before, you'll understand. Do watch this tutorial. Create these small characters first before creating Godzilla. I'm saying this again. Like this, you can use newspaper as well. Over here, I have used newspaper and this plastic as well. Once this plastic was over, I started using newspaper too, because his body is very big. So to create that, I had to use newspaper and plastic both. And inside, I had used wire which I always mention in my videos, which you can get that in various hardware shops. Wires are necessary because to hold the tail and legs, etc., you have to insert one wire inside. By doing these things, your clay will be less consumed, and also it becomes easy to work on it. Your shapes won't break as well. So at start, I'll be creating this leg first, but before that, we'll be using our molded clay. That is, take these two parts, the resin and the hardener, mix it well. Now here we are gonna take it in larger quantity, so we'll be mixing it with our hands. I've also mentioned this in the beginner's tutorial. There are two beginner tutorial, by the way, to watch the both. So once after it's ready, it will look completely white like this. Now I'm creating the whole leg first, but I would advise you again that create the foot part first, then create the thigh, or create the foot part first and create the whole upper leg as well. Depends on you how you want it. You can create this whole thing as well, but if time runs out and you're not able to sculpt the scales within 1.5 hours, then the big problem is that whatever you have created, that whole thing will go waste if it hardens within that required time. So plan it accordingly, because if you're creating, say, of course, you're creating Godzilla for the first time. If you're not, then it's okay. You know what things are, and if you're familiar with this clay, then that's also not a problem. But it's my duty to give you as many suggestions as possible. I'm trying to make this leg as quickly as possible. I'll try to make this within first 15 minutes, because I have to, save much time so that I can sculpt the scales over here. The scale part is very difficult. Now I am smoothing this with water. I'll make my hand a bit watery, or a little bit water here as well, and I'm trying to smoothen it up over here. And I'm creating one leg at a time. You can see over here. I created the first leg before, and then now I am attempting to create the second leg, so that I can observe that and create this one as well. So one leg does not become shorter or bulkier than the other one, because it is important that both look symmetrical. And now I am creating this in a bigger size, that is 6 inches tall. You can try creating it in a smaller one as well. I am using a spatula to create the scales first, and I'm not gonna show the whole part. As I said before, that this is a 3 to 4 weeks process, and it is not possible to cover this whole process into one video. Hence, and what I'm trying to do over here is just showing you the main parts, and while the other parts I'll just do it myself. And it's also difficult for me to create the whole thing in front of a camera. I have to keep the whole sculpture in front of my eyes to create this. So I'm using different techniques over here. I don't know how to explain this, because I'm just using the spatula to make the lines on his body. Of course, so I had didn't mention this before, I guess, but you have to download some images of him from the internet, and you have to keep observing how he looks, what are his basic features, what scales and what stretch marks are there on his whole entire leg or on his body. So likewise, you can create it. Now, since we had created these round marks before, now right now is try to make it in a scale shape. Now I'm trying to do is just press it towards the marks so that it gets lifted up a little bit. You can see over here. I'm trying my best to explain it because some process are something that you can understand only by looking or while doing them. It's difficult to explain it in words. Maybe I don't have that much skills to express that course because I'm not that trained or something. I'm just trying and making this by trial and error methods. So yeah, if you have any better words for this, then let me know. So like this I have created, you can see the upper part, that is the part which I have done, and now I've been trying to do this, and I will be trying to make the lower part. Again, this will consume a lot of time, so if you are trying to do this within 1.5 hours, it's very difficult. So work as fast as possible, or you can work by making small parts. Now here you can see that my upper part is kind of very. I have to make it like this, so I'll do it right now and save the other part for the next video because I don't want this starting video to be too long. So till then, see you next time with this same creation.